seen in a decade.
You know, the one thing I will say, teammates were literally hugging this man as he was getting off the field because of how bad the humility somebody felt for him to be this guy, to be their starting franchise quarterback, and to be people applauding and literally coming to their feet. Like this man was like it was an inspirational story, but no, they're all on their feet. The fact that this guy is out of the game,
right.
And this is your you said your $72 million quarterback, but on the other side, Brock Osweiler. You're also worth. They got to pay you a lot of money. So you're all right.
$37 million guaranteed.
You're okay, Brock. I think you'll be fine.
Upset about it. He just looked on the sidelines. He looked a little. You're emotionally beaten, but in the back of your mind, you have to be rational with yourself and know that I'm playing terribly. I don't deserve to be on that field. I'm not good enough. And I don't want to take the money angle. I don't want to say, well, he's not sitting there going, well, I made $37 million guaranteed dollars. He's not doing that. He's a professional athlete. These guys are in that position because they are dedicated to being as good as they can potentially be.
I don't know. I've watched Jay Cutler's demeanor on the sideline. He's taken more ridicule than anybody, but he's made a ton of money. I think Jay Cutler sits at home like, well, I've just flipped through this channel real quick where they're talking about me here, and then I'll go. I got a pretty hot wife. I'll go sit in the jacuzzi. Have a glass of wine with her. I don't have to hear nobody's bitching then.
That's a good point.
Yeah, he definitely seems to have that kind of demeanor.
In Osweiler's position, I don't know that he has that kind of demeanor. I think this is a young kid. This is a kid who won a Super Bowl last year, got himself a ring, tasted some victory, goes to Houston. They put the weight of an entire team, a traditionally unsuccessful team, put on a team on a cusp, a team with a good defense. That defense in Houston's not bad at all. Offense isn't horrible. They have weapons. Will Fuller is a weapon. DeAndre Hopkins is a weapon. Lamar Miller is a weapon. They block okay. They can get better, but they can block. And you know what they can do for a quarterback like a Brock Osweiler is this team can actually hold another team to around 17 points a game. I think most other quarterbacks in the NFL would be really successful in Houston. I just don't think Brock Osweiler is very good. Tom Savage drafted. It was very clear that this is a project player. He's got all the physical tools, not the experience. He looked okay.
But so was Brock Osweiler getting drafted, no?
What's that?
He was kind of a project-type draft. I mean, he was drafted, the third or fourth round?
He was definitely a project as well, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So what the hell are you giving $72 million to a project for?
And that's what we brought up earlier. Now, I know we talked about after embarrassing performances, Jeff Fisher gets fired after an embarrassing home loss. Gus Bradley gets fired after them collapsing last Sunday.
Sure.
Now, when is it time for something a debacle like that happens, where a GM goes out and gets this franchise quarterback, quote unquote, for millions of dollars a year, and he not only doesn't have a good season, but he's being taken out of games because he's hurt, but because he's bad. Where do people look at the GM and say, okay, now it's you're immediately you gotta go somewhere else?
I think that is probably, with a head coach, I think that it exemplifies that you've got to go now because this team is not playing for you any longer. With a GM, he can probably just sit up there. It's Rick Smith in Houston. He can sit up there and just stew for the rest of the season, but he's going to be out of a job, I promise you. If they don't fire him, then the entire organization is culpable and just very poor at what they do. But in the same breath, first of all, I agree with you. I think that Rick Smith made a huge mistake bringing this guy in. I think Bill O'Brien made a huge mistake agreeing. I would love to have been a fly on the wall during the discussions for them to negotiate with Brock Osweiler. If Rick Smith was going, look, let's just give the kid what he wants. He's a starter. He played. I would love to hear Rick Smith's sales pitch for Brock Osweiler. I would love to hear Bill O'Brien say yay or nay on this, because if you're Bill O'Brien, who's always had good offenses wherever he's been, he put together a good offense in Penn State. That parlayed himself into work in the NFL. He had Tom Brady in New England, so I can't really.
Yeah, well, it's what he did with Penn State after the whole aftermath of what happened, and not having limited talent and scholarships to work with.
He did a tremendous job at Penn State. Tremendous. Bill O'Brien's a good football coach. So I would just love to hear where the discussion between him and Rick Smith went. when somebody looked somebody straight in the eye and said, Brock's our man, and we're going to go get him. How does ownership?
Bill, I think the whole week-long negotiation process, Brock, I think that was the time maybe Bill O'Brien took his vacation.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Where he's maybe
something absentee went on there for certain.
He's down in Siesta Key, and by the way, he gets back in his office with that night with his tan or whatever he's got. And hey, how was your trip? How's the wife? How's the kids? Oh, good. By the way, we just signed Brock Osweiler to a multi-year deal worth millions and millions of dollars. So good luck. Talk to you later.
Coffee gets sprayed all over the monitor. Well, at the same time, too, that is the average fan, folks like us that are just on the outside looking in, we don't know for a second that ownership didn't walk in there and tell them, you guys are going and getting Brock Osweiler. We don't know that. It's ownership's money. So how do we know that ownership didn't tell Rick Smith and Bill O'Brien, this is the guy we're going to get, and you're going to work for it? Because ownership does tend to supersede general managers, because general managers are the guys who will eventually take the fall for it. So maybe, just maybe, Rick Smith is getting his reprieve here and not getting shit canned immediately because ownership maybe feels negligent in some fashion or another.
Well, they're the ones that have to okay it, but the GMs are the ones that run the day-to-day and say, okay,
but not always.
This is what we're doing. This is what I want to do. The owners does at the end. They have to okay it because you can't spend the owner's money without his approval.
Right, but not always. Sometimes the owners tell that general manager what you're doing and who you're bringing in. Al Davis did it for years. Jerry Jones did it for a long, long time.
Yeah, those are.
Maybe
I don't think every owner runs a ship like that, though. I think those two are kind of one in the.
Yeah, they're interesting anomalies, but I mean, I think Stephen Jones might have been one of the better things that ever happened to the Dallas Cowboys.
Without a doubt. I mean, I think they might have locked Jerry in his hotel room on that 2014 draft because Jerry was convinced that that Johnny Manziel belonged in a Cowboys uniform, and Steven's like, Dad, no, Dad, we're gonna tell you the draft's at the wrong time, you're gonna show up at the wrong place.
Be there Tuesday at 7:15 a.m. Now, and
by the way, we got Zach Martin.
Yeah, and that was a great pick. So along those lines, somebody's head's going to roll for the Brock Osweiler agreement, decision, signing. That's just embarrassing. Somebody's going to lose their job over that. Somebody has to. That being said, I don't know where that team goes. I think one of the more important things to check out this week is going to be interesting is how does Tom Savage fare in his first start? Because now he's going to prepare as a starter all week.
Yeah, and that means the opposing team will have time to prepare for him as well.
That changes some things. But at the same time, I don't know that anybody's going to have any film on Tom Savage. What do you
other than what you
technical Jaguar team?
I don't know. I mean, at the very most, maybe in preseason or exactly what you had last week. That may be it. That's why a lot of these flash in the quarterbacks, I think, come in the that flash in the pan. They come and have a good couple weeks because Peeps don't have appropriate time to prepare for them every week. And then finally, when they get a year, they get some time, they get all this film on them. That's when defensive coordinators start to earn their money. They're like, okay, we can expose this guy. He's not as good as he's playing right now.
It's nice to have a scouting report. Houston plays at home. It's the primetime 8:25 game on Saturday night, which keep in mind out there, Houston plays the Cincinnati Bengals, by the way, but keep in mind out there that our NFL, we're treated to an NFL Saturday all day, Christmas Eve day. I know a guy out there who's probably going to sit on his couch from noon to about 11 o'clock that night and get absolutely fit-shaced and probably eat a bunch of Christmas Eve sushi because that's the tradition here around the homestead of the Line Sports Talk podcast on Christmas Eve is me and the little lady eat sushi and I drink a lot of beer, which I don't know if that's any different from any other Saturday, but I'm going to drink some beers. You going to drink some beers, Joe?
I'm going to drink. Book it. It's your hey. We haven't done our pickup show yet, but it's your lock of the week, bitches.
It is your red hot lead pipe lock. We're going to do our pickup show on Friday, by the way, folks. And we've been pretty good too. Last week wasn't so hot. The week before, me and Pepper Jack were on fire. Joe was mediocre, but still on the plus side. But last week, Pepper Jack and I finished at 8-7. Pepper Jack finished at 9-6. Important to note, is that I had that Pittsburgh Steelers-Cincinnati Bengal game 24-20. Hit that one right on the nosy. And then I can tell you that I had Minnesota beating the Indianapolis Colts by a touchdown and a half, and I was way the hell off on that. So don't listen to a word I said.
Well,
Talk
I tell you,
a little bit.
I tell you what, man, that the line that got me, I bit into that trap line, which was the Raiders. I mean, they pushed on 3, but that's one of those games that I'm always against. The division game, when they see the line at 3, means stay away from it.
Yeah, you're right. But let me defend that situation. I like that pick as well. I took the Raiders on our Sunday swim pool. They turned the ball over twice inside the 20. That game, they should have won that game by 16 points. You can't handicap turnovers. We say it every week, and that was clearly the fact. What I want to bring up is something much more important that I'm about to share for everybody out there on the Line Sports Talk Podcast Facebook page, and that is video footage of a San Diego Chargers security guard masturbating in front of the San Diego Chargers cheerleaders. Have you seen this video yet?
In front of them.
Yeah, they're standing there doing their thing, and freaking Chumpola here is punching his dummy right in front of these girls while they're doing their thing. You know how the security guards have to turn around and actually face the stands. They're not allowed to turn and face the field.
Yes.
So he's in the stands, but dummy puncher here is looking right at these cheerleaders and
but he's doing a job for he's being selfish. He's not doing a job for the employers. He's doing a job for himself.
Yeah, man. What? It's illegal use of the hands, buddy.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
just frowned upon.
Go check that out on the Live Sports Talk Podcast Facebook page for old San Diego security guard flogging his dolphin here.
Well, I mean, I don't know who has his job. Who still has his job on Monday morning? Houston's GM or that dude?
Well, that dude got fired somehow or another. Somehow or another, Todd Bowles managed to keep his job, but sideline stroker over there, he gets shit canned for doing something perfectly natural. Yeah, that's terrible. I saw that video. That's just awful. So I was happy to share that with all our friends.
I mean, how do the cheerleaders not just stop their routine though? Like
I
it's
don't
like
know.
Okay, yeah, it's like, and how did there's just not some kind of wow, mental illness is real, folks. Like
Fair
there's
enough,
a guy.
Yeah, you can walk around and try to shake your nuts off your leg. You can also sneak a scratch if you have to. Everybody gets an itch every now and again, but this guy in this video, it is clear as a bell. Unless he's
what is it? Shoulders hunched, knees locked, and just taking it to town, huh?
Yeah. I don't know about all that, but there's no other explanation for what he's doing.
Well, I don't know. Everybody, I must say, everybody might have their own different pose and posture during self-pleasuring. But yeah, I mean, one can only. It's just not a good look. And I mean, yeah, if you even look at on a kind of a serious aspect, you're like, who does the hiring here? Like
nothing, no background check. Yeah,
this
you're
guy,
right.
especially in this day and age where there's modern day terrorism, and these sporting events could possibly be a big target for someone. You're getting the fucking meat slammer down there.
It's terrible. But he's punching his dummy on there. It's actually kind of funny. You see something crazy like that all the time. At least once a season, somebody's doing something stupid. Usually, it's in Buffalo. This time, it's in San Diego.
The dildo on the field. That was me. It was just funny.
Yeah, that was excellent. Actually, that was really well done.
Yeah, that's just good gamesmanship. You wonder how someone got that in the stadium, but one can only imagine.
Well,
but look at the security they hire there. So yeah, maybe anything is possible.
Honey, hold this. Yeah. So as Roger Goodell once said, let's get back to football. A couple other good playoff races winding up in the NFC. Who's the best team in the NFC, dude? Is it the Dallas Cowboys? Are they the best team in the NFC?
Yep.
Yeah.
By default, you got to say yes at this moment. The most dangerous team right now. We talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Someone might laugh at me, but I say it's the Green Bay Packers is the most dangerous.
I do too.
Are the most dangerous because Aaron Rodgers is like his man on fire right now. Guy. He's a great quarterback, and this is what great quarterbacks do. when they talk, you listen because they're great. Where Aaron Rodgers said